It's time for Focus Forward, sponsored by Invest Grand Bahama. It's Grand Bahama's best talk show, highlighting all of the positive things happening in Freeport.
Look forward to our special guests each week that will tell you about events, activities, and initiatives that are making a remarkable impact on our community.
You'll also hear from local business owners and get a heads up on deals and special promotions. It's time to Focus Forward. Hi everyone, and welcome back to Grand Bahama's Best Talk Show, Focus Forward, sponsored by the Invest Grand Bahama unit of the Grand Bahama Port Authority. My name is Glendia Sweeting, Manager of Quality Assurance at Port Group Limited, and I am joined by my co-host, Alex Thompson. Can you hear me? Because you were leaning over.
Just making sure.
Alex Thompson, the Director of Public Affairs at the Downtown Freeport Business Association. Good morning.
You forgot the last part, the best association on Grand Bahama Island.
But there are many associations that are
I'm
really
talking
good, so
about
why
the-
would I say?
I am talking about the DFBA.
Okay.
And considering
Okay.
that our set is downtown, it's downtown.
Okay, everything is all about downtown.
Well, you know, it is.
Port Lakaya Marketplace, Caravel Beach, Queens Highway, all of these places, but
And
everything is downtown.
We're so thankful for all of those associations and all of those businesses. We're so happy
Yes.
that they're in Grand Bahama as a whole. I can be very, free,
Extra.
if you want to call it that. It's confident.
So I'm with this lady today. Always a pleasure to be in your company. We are now in season 16. Almost 200 shows
Bought
on the record.
Party.
You brought the party.
I'm waiting on
You're
the drinks.
celebrating.
I'm waiting on the cake. I don't understand why it's not here yet. She's gonna surprise me. She's
I don't
gonna
know what this
surprise
lady
me
is
after
talking
the show.
about. But listen, we have a wonderful show lined up for you today. Of course, you may have heard over the last several weeks about Capitol Arena and the Titans pitch that happened at the Freeport Business Expo that was May 1st and 2nd. And of course, $40,000.
I was about to say, you're being so calm with this.
40.
We're talking about
Listen,
money.
I have to allow the message to be carried by the right people.
Okay.
And of course, on this show today, we have all of the
And
right
what's the
people
message?
in the room.
What's the message?
You'll hear the message in just a moment.
It was money?
So yes,
Free money?
money.
I was just checking. We'll make sure they're on the same-
Everybody knows Alex likes free things.
I like
and
it.
free money is the best thing for her.
Oh,
as
it
well.
is?
No, okay. So we're going to get into the conversation, and we're so delighted to be able to welcome back to Focus Forward. Every time you hear this lady's name, of course, she is synonymous with doing good business, helping entrepreneurs to be able to achieve their dreams, and also to be legitimate in doing so. And so she is also the person that would have been at the head of Capitol Arena and the Teen Titans.
Tells your age,
I have
but
a son. He's
okay. He's not here.
little, but he used to be.
And he'll be mad that you
Capitol Arena,
Titans now.
Capitol Arena, and the Titans pitch. And so we want to welcome back to Focus Forward for how many times now?
Umpteenth time.
Mrs.
Honorary
LaShawn
co-host.
Dames, who is the Business Development Manager here at the Grand Bahama Port Authority. She is also responsible for the Invest Grand Bahama Small Business Bureau,
That's right.
and of course all of the wonderful initiatives and things that would normally happen that's moving in our entrepreneurship era and our licensee area. So Mrs. Dames, welcome.
Thank you for having us, and thank you so much for this feature of our wonderful candidates of the Capitol Arena Tourism Titans.
Tourism Titans.
Tourism
Tourism Titans
Titans.
edition, not the
Do you
Teen
carry
Titans.
the title the money lady? Are you the money lady?
Oh.
I just check it. I just want to know. Just for me.
I do not, but I will say that I have an awesome support system that helps me to bring the resources where they are needed to empower the people that are going to make things happen in Freeport.
There
She's
you
just trying
go.
to make sure nobody call her
There
number.
you go.
But I'll give you all her
I
number.
would answer it that way too, because I
Yeah.
don't want you to call me either. Anyways, so let's just get back to the conversation. Of course, we want to meet all of our special guests that are here with Mrs. Dames, and all of these persons would have been a part of that Tourism Titans pitch competition. First, we want to welcome for the very first time to the Focus Forward, I can't say round table, to the Focus Forward
We
set.
can envision it.
Ms. Taria Lundy, who is the creator of Pedal Pirates Tours. welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. Morning.
Yes, it was so good. So good to have you. And of course, we want to move. We have some gents on our back row. And of course, for the very first time as well to the show, Mr. Reno Mizik from Mizik's Conch Excursions. Welcome.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Did you bring conch salad? I don't see any conch salad. Oh, it's your first
Not
time.
as yet.
It's his first. Oh, yes.
So we'll make it a second time so he brings it back again.
Make sure he understands the
Right.
requirements to be on the show.
So what are those? We'll talk about that during the commercial break. I don't know what this lady is talking about. All right. And we want to welcome also for the very first time to Focus Forward, Mr. Jonico Bevins, who is from Dive VR Bahamas. Welcome.
Thank you all. Very grateful and appreciative.
Good, good. So happy to have you. And finally, last but not least, one of the persons that we want to welcome back to the show. He's been here a few times under different hats. More recently, he would have been here to talk about his business, and now he is actually a successful Titan. So we want to welcome back to Focus Forward, Mr. D'Angelo Carey, the creator of Port Locker.
Yeah, thank you. It's a pleasure to be here, and I'm happy to be a part of this initiative also.
He's back again. That sounds
Perfect.
like he gets some extra money. I don't know. We talking about back here in the room. I need to.
What did you give put inside Alex's coffee
I
today,
don't
Miss
know.
James? I don't
I
know.
don't know. I don't know.
I don't know what's happening. So, Mrs. James, you know, contacts is our thing,
Her
or
thing.
my thing.
Her thing.
So let's talk a little bit about Capital Arena, first of all, because we know about the Tourism Titans pitch. But Capital Arena is something that the Grand Bahama Port Authority would have introduced some time ago, and you guys would have had other initiatives under that brand. So let's talk about that for a little.
Okay, so we would have launched the Capital Arena initiative back in 2018. So Capital Arena Tourism Titans is really the third iteration of the initiative, and it was created specifically to empower Grand Bahamian entrepreneurs to help them launch the business ideas that they have. And we're looking for things that are unique, things that are authentic and innovative, that are going to help to drive the economy forward. And as its name indicates, capital, the money, the arena. I'm sure these guys will all speak to the competition that they had when they were pitching those ideas. And our judges are never kind, you know. They are blunt, they are honest, but it's all to bring out the best in the candidates that we select.
That is
So
wonderful.
that is Capital Arena in a quick nutshell.
Okay. Now, Capital Arena is where you go to get the money,
Right.
right?
I
Alex?
told you I'm working on my business plan already. After going to the Freeport Expo, I was like, I need a business plan. I have some ideas in my head. I need to jump into this tourism market because, you know, plenty of money to be made.
You have to do some things.
And plenty of money to be had.
Right. So, Mrs. Dames, was it a strategic move then to be able to have the Tourism Titans edition at the Freeport Business Expo? What was the connection there?
Okay, so I'm glad you asked that question, because that is something that, yes, it was strategic. As you know, the Freeport Business Expo is in its second year this year. And of course, the Freeport Business Expo, its focus is on tourism. Now, when you look at, or we've been touting this nearly at the start of the year, we were saying more than $2 billion in new investments. Well, you know, after the recent announcements, those numbers are now at more than $3 billion.
Okay.
But more than 70% of that $3 billion is focused in the tourism and hospitality sector. So what better way to gather persons around the clarion call for we need authentic, we need unique, we need experiences that are going to really feature and spotlight Grand Bahama in the best way. And so what we did was we said, hey, let's do a Capital Arena Tourism Titans grant and bring those persons together, because we knew that we had a number of individuals who had come to us over the years saying, look, I have this business idea, but I need some funding, and we've been wanting to do this. So what better time to introduce it than at the Freeport Business Expo? We did. We had a very successful call. It was actually oversubscribed.
Wow.
We were hoping that we may have hit between 30 and 50 submissions. We had more than 80. And of those 80, you have the very best seated in front of you.
Right.
So
And I
that's
also
good.
want to mention, and thank you for that, letting us know how this all came together. I also want to mention that we were advised that Alexis Bethel
Yes.
from Bahama Isles Lux Picnics and Water Sports was also one of the successful Titans. And so we also want to send a good kudos out to her,
Yes,
although she's not
please.
here with us today. Alexis, congratulations as well for being a part of this selection committee, this particular committee. And so if we can just hop on over really quickly over to Miss Lundy. Miss Lundy, you had an opportunity to be with the Capitol Arena judges and to be able to pitch your business. Tell us a little bit about your business.
Okay, my business is an experiential tour. It's a group tour that is eco-friendly. We operate a 15-passenger bike bus that is scavenger hunt based for visitors and guests to the island. And then locals are able to also experience the tour basically however they like it. If you just want to bar crawl, if you just want to go out with a group of friends, if you want to bring your kids, it's group friendly, family friendly, and then party friendly. So we take you from wherever you'd like to go all around the island. And then for tourists, it's, like I said, scavenger hunt based, and they go around, complete the scavenger hunt, and at the end, we have souvenirs, gifts, and then photos, of course.
Okay, sounds like a lot of fun, right?
We're going.
Let's do it.
she
Let's
needs-
do it.
she needs
We'll
the
be
people-
there. She said it's all good.
We'll be there.
The invitation is open for you guys.
Now
Thank
that you've
you.
won your grant, what are your next steps?
Well, my vehicle is, I guess, it should be on island now. Our very first vehicle.
Congratulations.
And I have a very aggressive opening date scheduled for July of this year. So I wanted to take advantage of having the funding come in right in time for summer. That is a time when we have, increase in guests, and then we also have students and so on return. And then, we want to take advantage of that and make sure that everyone can experience the tour this summer when the weather is good as well.
Yes. Nice and hot, and then you could get in that water. I didn't know you could sing.
Going pedaling.
But thank you so much for sharing with us. And we're going to come back and have some deeper conversations. We want to go over to Mr. Carey because Mrs. Dames, I understand that Ms. Lundy and Mr. Carey were two of our top winners.
And that is extremely interesting because they were fighting neck and neck through the last portion of the competition where we allowed the audience to participate, and it literally just went neck and neck for about 5 minutes or more.
Wow.
And
Intense.
they ended up being tied, and so because they were tied and we had already allotted a $12,500 grant to the winning candidate, our co-chair, along with our president, our co-chairman of the Port Authority, Ms. Sarah St. George, and Mr. Ian Roll, president, they took an executive decision and decided, let us award both candidates the same amount. And
Okay.
That means your ideas was so intriguing.
Yeah.
So intriguing.
And they wanted it here in Grand Bahama, and they wanted to give it.
Amazing. You'll get your chance.
I'm gonna miss 2 shows because I got to work on my business plan. I got to work
I know
on it.
Alex is going to want to be a part of this, I'm sure. So, Mr. Carey, with that on the backdrop now, knowing that you would have been one of those successful candidates, tell us what it felt like standing in the front of all of those judges, being there presenting at that pitch competition, in the front of a live audience, by the way.
Right. So I think it was an exciting opportunity to stand before the panel and the guests who were in the audience. It was an exciting opportunity, but it was enriching to know that the Grand Bahama Port Authority had put up this initiative for us to, be able to have this experience and to be able to have the opportunity to win or participate in this award and be able to fund and help our business to move forward to the next level. So I thought it was great. It was a great opportunity.
Okay,
I've got a question for you. You haven't said what your business is yet,
Right.
which I would like to know. And then in your business, how are you going to create jobs from your business?
Yeah, so my business is Port Lockers, and we are a smart locker service solution. We cater to visitors who come to the island who want to store their valuables while they engage in experiences. So it basically is an opportunity to give the guests a richer experience while they stay. And so in terms of job creation, there are many aspects of our job. Because it's a tech company, we're heavily involved with technology. And so in addition to customer-facing guest services agents and persons who are dealing with facing the customers directly, we also have a technology part of it where people learn the systems and how to do maintenance and service personnel. And so there's so many aspects, and we do. It's a modular business where we plan to grow. And so as the business grows, then there's going to be so many opportunities for persons to come on board and help to facilitate the process.
Okay. Now, I want to ask a question. I don't know if he's going to want to answer this one, right? But how did you find out about port lockers? How did you make that connection?
You're in my head, eh? Right there. This ESPA.
Rent-free.
Right. So finding out about that involved a lot of traveling. And if I give the backstory, in 2019, when we had Hurricane Dorian, in September of that year. And by November, there was this expo called the IAPA Expo that I decided to attend. Despite what was going on, I knew that we would have a rebound in the economy. I know that things would turn around because Grand Bahama, we are a resilient set of people, and we always come back. And so I know that things would change for the better. And so I decided to start looking forward as opposed to what was going on. And so at the expo, I came across many vendors, but in particularly I met with one particular vendor who had the smart locker solution. And even with what was going on, especially that was the first year I went to the expo. And then the second year was during the COVID pandemic. And so, people were very sensitive. People were very sensitive at that time. And so I said, you know what, this would be a good solution for persons, for persons who, were sensitive about things like COVID and things like that. And so I continued the conversation with my vendors, and we continued planning, and then we knew that different initiatives like the cruise ports, and I also saw the opportunities in different parts of the island where we can roll out this technology. And so it's a keyless, seamless, cashless solution, and it creates value for anyone who comes to the island to visit.
All right. And we're looking forward to see how that value works out over time, and we want to have more information about that. We want to be able to follow the stories if we can, Mrs. James. And I heard about IAPA just now, and so I want to talk to you about that, but we have to take a quick break. And once we come back, we're going to talk a little bit about IAPA, what the Grand Bahama Port Authority may be doing in that space, and then also we have some more guests that we want to be able to talk with. So we'll be right back right after this.
Reawakened, the reimagined, the rebirth, the Renaissance capital of the Bahamas. Over $1.5 billion in investments. Marinas, cruise ports, downtown revitalization, residential developments. We're putting the city on the map. Want to know more? Just log on. Your future is only a click away.
Welcome to the Wellness Oasis. We are located in Lukai Medical Center, where we specialize in alternative medicine. At the Wellness Oasis, I support clients to take charge of their current health and health span through personalized nutrition programs, fitness coaching, and other collaborative wellness modalities. So whether you're looking for nutritional guidance, a structured 12-week fitness program, a nutrition program, or just a great place to exercise, we've got you covered. Visit us at Lukai Medical Center on East Sunrise Highway, or call 373-7401 or WhatsApp 826-7401.
And we're back here on Grand Bahama's Best Talk Show, having a wonderful day today. We are talking with the Grand Bahama Port Authority, Mrs. LaShawn Dames, and those tourism titans that were successful in Capital Arena. I mean, I could do that sometimes.
You could do it sometimes, yeah.
Just
Talking
sometimes.
about the people who won the money.
Yes, who won the money.
Who won the money.
Yes.
Yes. Out of 80 participants.
But it's bigger than that. We have to remember that these businesses are unique, authentic businesses that are would have come to the forefront to be able to come into this pitch competition. The ultimate goal is to use them and to encourage others to help support our tourism industry. Mrs. Dames had mentioned in our first segment that more than 70% of the $2 billion+ that we were touting earlier this year is in the tourism sector. And so, of course, they would be some of the first, certainly to be a part of that new, authentic experience or experiences that we need here in Grand Bahama to ensure that our guests have a good time and they return.
So let's just be clear. Let's be very important since we're encouraging.
Yes.
We had 2 participants that was running neck and neck in the competition.
Yes.
And they ended up being a tie. And guess what? They both got the same amount of money that they had allotted for one winner. Put in your business plan. Be like me. Just do it. That's it.
This is a lot.
Let's just make sure we know that.
This is a lot today, but okay,
Yeah.
no problem. So let's go back over to Mrs. Dames, and of course, again, thank you all for being with us. Mrs. Dames, we want to continue the conversation. Alex, while she's calming down, we want to talk about Capital Arena, the work that's being done, and the importance. And I just mentioned a little bit of it, but if you can recap just a little bit to let people know why is it important for the Grand Bahama Port Authority to be able to support initiatives such as this.
Okay, so obviously the Grand Bahama Port Authority is the licensing entity in the city of Freeport. And so if we are encouraging entrepreneurship, we ought to support it as well. And Capital Arena is one of those ways that we do so. Like I said previously, we would have launched Capital Arena in 2018, and this is the third round or the third cohort that we have done since then. And it's all about empowering those young entrepreneurs with these creative and unique ideas that are going to help drive the economy forward. Previously, we would have done grants across various sectors of the economy. This time, because of the Freeport Business Expo and that focus on tourism, the fact that that more than $3 billion in new investments happening in Grand Bahama, 75% or more of that is in the tourism and hospitality sector. So why not empower those businesses to really bring those unique and authentic experiences that are going to intrigue our guests, give them a great time and help them and cause them to want to return to Freeport for a longer stay. When we look at the fact that the majority of the guests that we will be experiencing as the years progress, they're going to be cruise passengers, and cruise passengers only have a short stint on the island. So you have to be able to make that impact and capture their attention. And we believe that of the submissions we got through the call for proposals, these particular titans, if I may, really presented some unique and authentic ideas, some truly unique ideas.
So we had the Pedal Pirates Tours idea, and then we had the port lockers, and now let's just move on, if we can, over to Mr. Bevins. Dive VR Bahamas. Now, it sounds like I could dive and be dry, right? That's what it sounds like.
Well, I know I want to get you in the water.
I don't have to get in the water.
No, we could get in the water a little bit.
I may really love this one if I don't have to get in the water.
But you don't have to go too much past your waist.
Not too far.
Yeah.
I could work with that.
Okay.
Mr. Bevins, welcome. So let's talk a little bit about Dive VR Bahamas. Tell us about the business.
Well, Dive VR Bahamas, it's a virtual snorkeling. It's an experience, a good experience. It isn't too long, a 10-minute simulation. So you can snorkel in a pool or any 2 to 4 foot of water. That's all you need.
That's good. 2 foot is good.
For persons who may be terrified to go inside the ocean, they could have an experience of snorkeling.
Okay.
So it sounds like we're going to put our stuff in a port locker. Then we're going to get on the Pedal Pirates. And when we're done, we're going to pedal over to him.
Right.
And while we're going to take a break and get you in the water. Yeah.
Perfect. This is a lot.
We're doing it. Now,
I wouldn't call it perfect, Ms. Davis, but okay.
Let me ask you, how did you feel pitching your idea for, in front of these people and for real investment, knowing that you're actually could possibly get some money to do this?
Well, the feeling I'm not really out there like that, so it's good to finally put myself out there. I was kind of nervous, kind of shy even though I practice, but it was a wonderful experience. I'll do it again, and I learned a lot.
Practice at home in the mirror?
I practice at home, and I practice before the pitch also.
How long have you been working on this project idea? I know sometimes, I think, when people talk about the end game, they get to the end of, hey, I did this pitch competition. Right. People don't always, or some of us don't always appreciate how long it takes to be able to get to that point. How long did it take you to get from thought, vision, to where you are now?
Well, funny thing, last year I graduated college, so doing that, I ended up going to a game room. So I ended up doing a virtual reality roller coaster. And from that idea, I just sprung on my head, like virtual reality snorkeling. I saw a place, I saw like some ads, I researched, and I saw some ads about, what's the company name? I can't remember it right now, but an ad about a virtual reality snorkeling headset. So that's how the idea came about.
Okay.
So you read it last year?
I love it. Last year.
Last year. Okay, so you've got it this far. What lessons have you learned?
So far, you can't be perfect, so just try and do the best you can.
Keep trying.
Keep
How
trying.
do you think your business is going to contribute on a wider scale to the tourism industry?
My business, well, I feel like it's very innovative. I don't think it's anything like that on the market right now. So it'll be a different experience for guests and also locals.
All right, now you said one of the things you said is, it doesn't have to be perfect, but just have to do it. So what would you tell other persons about pitching? Should they pitch? Should they come through with Capital Arena? Should they try, even though they don't have it all together? What advice would you give them?
Yeah, I feel like everybody should try. If you're by there, you should go there and try. Put it up there. Also, try to get some contact with someone who have a business too. Get contact with people inside that field so you can have a more understanding of what you need to do and exactly what may come from it.
All right. I love that. I love that. Now, Mr. Mizik, if we can come on over to you, because Alex wants to have some conch salad and all of that good stuff, right?
Yep.
So tell us about your business. Where did the idea come from?
Okay, Mizik's Conch Excursion is basically a conch tour whereby you would take guests to catch their own conch, crack their own conch out of the shell, and have it prepared for them, whereby they would get the knowledge we have as Bahamians about our local conch. Because from what I knew, what I know of Bahamians, tourists normally come here based on beach and our waters and our food. So coming up, I came from a family of tourism individuals. So one day I was at a tour and just traveling, the idea came to me that no one does a conch tour here. Everybody gets conch salad. Conch salad is a main dish, but
Right.
there's no knowledge about conch. So
One of my favorite main dishes, by the way.
Right, that delicacy.
Just throwing that out there.
So that's where the idea embedded in me to say, hey, let's do a conch class for the guests, whereby they can actually get the experience of how we get and prepare a conch salad.
And I love that, because it's not just experiencing the conch salad, it's not just making the conch salad. It's, hey, come out here, go get this conch.
Well, you know what? Listening to his pitch at the Freeport Expo during Capital Arena, I thought to myself, I never cared about how that conch salad got in that bowl, ever. And when he pitched, I said, that would be an awesome idea. Like, why didn't I think of that first?
Right.
And then I know he's going to win that money. I literally said that sitting in a chair, like, he's going to win that money, because that's amazing.
It is.
I'm not saying, I'm going to do it after I take his tour. I still want the conch salad just
You
in
want
the
the
bowl.
conch salad.
Yeah, but I like that. So I want to ask you a question that she would have asked. How long from your thought to putting it all together and deciding to pitch the Capital Arena?
Well, for me, I got the idea pretty much after I graduated out of high school. That was in 2024.
Okay.
2014, sorry. So it's been a long process to get there. I was actually scared about putting it out there because I didn't want someone else to come along and,
Take your idea.
you know. But after coming along with the after coming across the Titans pitch competition, it just instilled in me and say, hey, give it a try.
Okay. So like 2014, which means that was just gnawing at him consistently. That's more than 10 years.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
And sometimes that's what it takes, right? To be able to go through the entire process and who cares if it takes 10 years? Once you get to it,
But the
I
fact
believe
that
that's
it's in there.
that is
It
the
never
that's the
left
key
him.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I
yeah.
knew you was gonna win some money, and you got the money.
Now, Ms. Dames, we heard about, and thank you, Mr. Mizik, and we're going to come back around again, but
Make
Ms.
sure the
Dames,
conch
we
manager.
heard, we will get some conch for you, okay?
Making sure mistakes.
So we heard that one of the judges, during the course of the competition, would have done something very special, unexpected.
Very much
We didn't
so.
know it was going to happen. Tell us a little bit about that. Seems very exciting.
Okay, so I was sitting in the audience and listening to Mr. Mizik as he pitched, and sitting right next to me was one of the, I want to say one of the operations people from Pirates Cove. As you know, David Wallace, who is a principal there at Pirates Cove, the president, he was one of our judges, and he has been, that idea is actually something that he has been thinking about, and he had been, planting little seeds here and there over the years. And so as he was pitching, the gentleman from Pirates Cove was saying, boy, you know something? David need to talk to this guy because David has been wanting to do this, for a while. And lo and behold, mid-pitch, or just after, they put him through a brutal, fiery furnace, David says, young man, you have a great idea. I want to support you. Call me after this competition and let's see what we can do together. And David is big on collaboration.
He is.
Pirates
Yes.
Cove is the first of its kind, with so many shareholders that came together to accomplish one vision. And to date, from 2016 to now, that vision has been successful. And so I think he is going to be in great hands with Mr. Wallace. Mr. Wallace is going to be his mentor. Only good things can come from this partnership, and so I'm excited.
So we're looking forward, Mr. Mizik, to see what happens there and how it goes. But how do you feel about that?
Boy, all I could say is I bless. That's all I could literally say.
God is
It
good.
was just God's timing.
Well, it sounds like all of these people can fit down there by Pirates Cove. Because we're going to pedal right down there to Pirates Cove.
Right.
We're going to put our stuff in the locker. We're going to get Glendia and 2 feet of water right at the beach, shore.
Right at
And
the
while
shore.
she's in the beach shore and you trying to get her to experience that, I'm going to be waiting on my conch salad. What we going to be doing? But I think
You have the whole plan together.
I have it all
telling
planned
you.
out. But Tari, if I may come to you right quick, as we talk about this, I know I'm here and I'm laughing about it and joking about it, but I mean, did you have moments or nights when you felt like, oh, this is hard, am I gonna do this, can I finish this? Did you feel that way at all? Because some people, like Glendia says, they look at the finished product and like, oh, she got the money and she did it, and you're speaking so fluently about it. Did you
the
have those
journey.
moments? Yeah, the journey.
The journey.
Definitely.
Did you have
would
naysayers?
say- I wouldn't say that I have had any naysayers just yet, but I have definitely spent some nights, even post-competition, I think more now, trying to come to terms that, hey, this is happening. I need to be in position to get this bike on the road, get people into it, and then have the business actually start up. Because having the funding is one thing, but then bringing the business to life is another. And having the support of the GBPA and everyone here, it's been instrumental.
Good. I love that. And I want to talk to you, Ms. Dames, as well. Mr. Carey would have brought up IAPA. And so I just wanted to come back to you on that, because I know that is something the Grand Bahama Port Authority would have done for many years. Not the only show, but certainly one of the more recent ones geared towards tourism. So tell us about that. What was the thought process behind bringing the IAPA show to the table?
Okay, so IAPA is one of the largest amusements and entertainment events in North America. anything to do with entertainment, experiences, you can find it there. And so for years, we have as part of the Small Business Bureau, we have what is called a business exposure initiative, where we invite licensees of the Port Authority to accompany us when we go on these conferences, trade shows, and events, so that they can be exposed to see what is going on out there in the marketplace, what things they can find and see that they can bring home and make it their very own and make it unique to Grand Bahama. So IAPA is one of those events. In fact, the Freeport Business Expo is a mini version of IAPA, because we work so hard to bring, and you of anyone would know this firsthand, the work that goes into bringing these exhibitors with these unique types of experiences, so that we can expose the local population to ideas that they can introduce and implement. There is business matchmaking and partnerships. There are networking sessions, and all of this is really to give our licensees an immersive experience so that they can walk away with tangible and meaningful opportunities to implement some of these ideas right here in Freeport.
So does that mean that IAPA is going to happen again this year? Is there any possibility that the Grand Bahama Port Authority may be looking at presenting maybe some licensees that are interested in going? Is that something that could happen? Sorry to put you on the spot. I'm just asking.
Again,
Well,
you're in my head.
Right? So while I cannot speak directly to the IAPA experience, I'm sure, because it is one of those conferences that's on our docket, we have a number of other events that we have gone to over the years and that we continue to participate in. Right now, we are in the planning of Source Direct at ASD, and that is one of the major supplier, vendors, distributors conferences for every type of merchandise that you can think of, and we're planning that for August, and we will be extending a call to our licensees for those persons who may want to participate with us. It's an excellent opportunity for business connections. The only thing you need to focus on is your travel, your accommodations while you're there. Once you get there, we will coordinate getting you onto the showroom floor, getting you into the networking sessions, any types of floor training sessions that they offer, and of course the business matchmaking, which is a major part of these events. And we will put that call out, and if you're interested, come on board and join us. I will just put that piece out there that
What are you talking
yeah, I know, right? That Vegas is hot.
I'm looking at my watch. You said August. You're talking about this on Focus Forward. Do you know we're international? Do you know that? People are hearing you. You're saying you're going to put a call out there.
Yes.
Persons that are interested, that you're going to, they just need to pay for their.
Right. So this in particular is a service that the Small Business Bureau offers to licensees of the Grand Bahama Port
Free?
Authority.
It's called a benefit.
So it is free.
called a benefit.
Yes, it is one of your benefits. So if you are a licensee of the Port Authority and you're listening in, now you know what's on the drawing board. You want to go ahead and prepare yourself for that opportunity so that when we make the call, you can join us. But it is a benefit of your license. And if you're international and you're you're watching some of that more than $3 billion worth of investments taking shape in Grand Bahama, I encourage you want to come to Freeport, pay us a visit our website, investgrandbahama.com, and see the wealth of opportunities that Freeport has to offer you.
I love that. I love that. Now, I know we got to do a quick wrap, but I just want to get some final thoughts from our gents in the back there. Mr. Carey, anything as we begin to wrap this segment, anything that you want people to know about your business, any encouragement that you might want to give to someone that may be watching the show right now?
Yeah, so I would just want to encourage anybody who is on the fence about starting a business and getting started. Grand Bahama is definitely the place to start. There's so many things happening right now. I think Grand Bahama, if it's safe to say, Grand Bahama economy is really on the boom, on the move. And this is the perfect time to start a business. And we have so many resources here, like the Invest Grand Bahama team. They're so helpful with providing you with the resources and everything that you need and the support. And so I would encourage and employ anybody who is, thinking about an idea, who has an idea what was maybe dormant and packed away for some time, that now is the time. Now is the perfect time.
Now is the time. I love that. Mr. Bevins, any final thoughts coming from you?
Oh, well, piggybacking on what Mr. Dean said, not Mr. Dean, sorry about that. Mr. Kerry said. Yeah, right now this is the time. So if you have an idea, just try and put it out there. Go get the resources you need, and yeah.
Go for it. Go for it.
Done is better than perfect. That's
Yes.
his thing. I hold on to that.
And Mr. Mizik.
Yeah, I would say the same like these guys said. Go after your dreams. Don't be scared. It's there for you. So give it a try.
Give it a try. Go after your dreams. It's there for you. I
Special
love
words
that.
and phrases you want to put on there, right?
Definitely. And Mrs. Dames, as we close, any final thoughts coming from you?
Yes, and thank you so much. I cannot let this show end without acknowledging the partnership of those companies that made the grants possible with us. And so we had AML Foods, we had Cable Bahamas and Alive, we had Carnival Cruise Lines, we had Bahamaland Investments, we had Concord Wilshire Investments, and then we also had H. Forbes Private Charter Services. All of them came together to support us in creating this grant. And as you can see, the initial numbers were at 40,000. We went above and beyond the 40,000 thanks to the support, the tremendous and incredible support of our partners. Thank you so much.
That's so wonderful. And then just hearing in that mix another tourism-based business that I wouldn't say a small business. I think it's a medium-sized enterprise. But for them to be able to come around and say that they want to be a part of this and to be able to support financially speaks tremendously towards the commitment to the tourism industry.
Investor confidence.
Yes.
And for Grand Bahama,
and Grand Bahamian investor confidence. So we love that. We love that. So this is just wonderful. Thank all of you for being with us today. And of course, we wish you all the best moving forward. Come back and tell us about your success stories. We want to be able to hear from you and share as much information as you can so that you can encourage others that are just watching what you guys are doing. So kudos to you. All right, Alex. So we have so much more show coming on. I mean, we don't want you guys to go anywhere. I know that you were so happy about Tourism Titans, and this was fantastic. The Capital Arena Initiative. Of course, whenever you hear about Capital Arena again, now you know this is where you go to get the what?
The money.
The money, right? But of course, also this is where you make a tremendous impact in an industry with that money.
Okay.
And so we got to take a quick break. We have more to come. The first annual Home Expo is coming up. And of course, we want to get those guys here on the show to join us to tell you a little bit about that. So we'll be right back right after these messages.
Hi, my name is Rosalie Bailey. My husband George and I own Pisces Restaurant, so welcome to Pisces. We've been in business for the last 45 years, weathered all the storms in Grand Bahama, up and down on the roller coaster, and we're still here, serving more than 40 odd different types of pizzas. We've got a fabulous menu. We serve everything from lobster thermidor, seafood platters, and our very special curries. We have a very extensive menu, so you need to come in and look at it. A little bit of something for everyone. So if you'd like to come and have a party here, you're celebrating a birthday or an anniversary or a christening, whether it's from 2 to 50, we can take care of you. We're located now at the Grand Bahama Yacht Club, right on Midshipman. It's a beautiful setting out here. You can find us from 4 o'clock in the evening until midnight. The kitchen is open till 11. Our telephone contact is 373-5192. We also have cell numbers of 807-5192 and 823-8266.
Welcome back. We're here on Focus Forward, and we are wrapping up our day with one of our most wonderful licensees working in the hardware home expo space. They have something huge that's coming up. Big.
Big. Wide. I was just wondering if words you
I
was
know,
trying
right?
to just get down there, you know.
They have a major event that's coming up, first of its kind here within the city of Freeport.
Is it the best?
And of course, first of its kind. First of its kind.
So they're bringing the first of its kind event on our show.
Yes.
Okay.
Of course. So I'm sure you want to hear more about it.
You got the tea.
Right, of course. So we're so excited to welcome to our business segment today for the very first time, Third Dimension, and of course in the persons of the operations manager, Mrs. Felicia Barbs, and also the marketing manager, Ms. Sayre Pinder. Welcome.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having us.
It's great to have you guys. It's great to have you guys.
Imaginary round table.
Thank you.
So we want to talk about the Home Expo, but before we get there, let's talk about Third Dimension.
Context.
Yes.
We need to know what is third dimension.
Yes, we need to know what is Third Dimension, what is being offered, and then let's talk a little bit about this exciting expo that you guys have coming up.
Yes, so Third Dimension is a prominent home improvement store and hardware retailer here in Grand Bahama. We're located on Yellow Pine Street. We have various departments, including building materials, tiles, housewares, lawn and garden, plumbing, electrical, hand tools, and hardware. We cater to contractors, homeowners, DIYers in Grand Bahama.
DIYers.
I'm not a DIYer.
I try. I always fail and need a contractor later. But you know,
I'm a honey-do
lister. A store like Third Dimension would be perfect for me. So that's one of the good things. That's something you didn't know, huh?
No.
Yeah. But I need a contractor later, so it's okay.
You look the part of a DIYer, but it's not you.
It's not me.
Okay,
I try. I get adventurous. Yeah, you know, you try a little bit.
I'm a honey-do lister.
Okay, that's fine, that's fine. So Third Dimension has been here within the city of Freeport for several years now. And of course, if I could just jump over to Ms. Bobs for just a quick second, when we talk about the history of Third Dimension, we've seen that there's been an expansion, you know, a tremendous change. Could you talk a little bit about that?
Sure. Well, our expansion took place last year, October, the end of November. We had our grand opening on November 3rd. Basically, what we did was we opened our store to the entire building. What we did before is we had the store sectioned off, but now we've opened it to serve each Bahamian, each contractor, anybody that's kind of doing projects in Freeport, to expand in each department of what we offer. So we expanded, we actually included our new paint center. We never used to mix paint before, so we added a paint center. We also expanded our door selection, as well as each department that we had from what she mentioned before. So everything got expanded so that you're able to basically make Third Dimension a one-stop shop.
So everything for the home from the ground up, really.
Basically.
And all on the inside.
Exactly.
One-stop shop.
You provide
I like the convenience.
too?
I got some people on my list.
So in walking through the store, I must say, you know, it felt good. Yes. You know, after you opened it up and did the renovation, it just feels so good. I mean, because you know we like new things,
yes.
right?
Yes.
You know, and to go in and just walk, and then walk some more, and then walk some more. I was like, oh, this is big.
Yes.
It's really nice. It's really nice. I would have had the opportunity to be there more recently. It's bright.
It is bright.
It's very well organized. I can say that for sure. Very well organized. And of course, you guys have some products that, because you would have expanded into the home-based business, the home-based products, you had an opportunity to be able to provide things that we normally wouldn't think would be in Third Dimension.
Right.
So tell us a little bit about some of the additional products that you would have brought to the table that people may not know that you now offer.
Right, so we have this, it's a brand new product that we carry called Retikit, and what it is if you want something to look like wood, you can use Retikit. It's a liquid wood kit. So you would simply apply it to a hard surface, be it concrete, drywall, plastic, anything of that nature, even Formica. You would simply paint it, and then it has a wood grain texture that would be applied to it.
Okay.
So it would make the final product look like wood.
I saw it on TikTok.
Yes, we have it all over our social media.
I saw it on TikTok. I'm like,
Okay.
I'm gonna try this, but I'll send you the DIYer. I'm gonna let you try that first.
Let's see. I don't know. Give me something to put it on. Let's see what it looks like. But I don't
Let's
know.
find a chair
That may
and
be
try it
a
on
lot for me. That may be maybe a lot for me. Stick with just putting up pictures and stuff. But yeah. All right. That's wonderful. Any other products that you might want to feature and talk about before we move on? Because you have so many great products there.
We also got in a brand new paint line. It's called Evolve. It's an eco-friendly paint. It is a paint that you can use on the interior and exterior, and it also includes a primer in it. So normally you would have to buy a primer separate, or you would have to purchase an expensive brand like Sherwin-Williams and stuff like that. So it's an eco-friendly. It's very, very inexpensive that we just started to bring to the community of Grand Bahama.
So paint and primer and tint.
Right.
Yes.
So then that's saving me money.
And when I'm
Exactly.
hearing eco-friendly, I'm thinking that this is something that would be sustainable over time as well.
Yes, exactly. It has a minimum warranty, I think, on it is about 25 years at least.
Shut the front door.
I'm telling you, when I saw it at a trade show, it really took me by surprise that you can get all of that in one, and it having as well as good quality. They have pre-mixed paint, like for basic colors that they use, like a white, a tan, like basic colors that you would see on an everyday. It's not really tintable in all type of different colors, but they already have pre-mixed paint with different colors that you would choose, and it's right there available at our paint counter.
Right at the paint counter. Now, you came in their trade show. I'm going to pop right over to the expo.
Yes.
Can we talk a little about your expo? What made you decide to do an expo?
Okay, well, I basically came up with the idea one day after traveling to a recent trade show in New Orleans. I said to myself that we really don't have this in Grand Bahama, and it's something that everybody can really profit off of. Something that you could go to get everything in one-stop shop, because a regular builder and a regular homeowner wouldn't know where to start, wouldn't know who to choose, wouldn't know where to go. Basically, basic needs like financing and stuff like that. So I thought of the idea to say, let's target a homeowner. Let's try to promote our own contractors here in Grand Bahama, so that they're able to get more clients, put themselves out there, show their portfolio, show the things that they've completed in the past. And I wanted to do it for my contractors, do it for the other businesses in the community, as well as other banks and real estate agents and stuff like that. So it came to my idea, and I thought of it, and I said, you know what, let's kind of do this annually to promote the businesses of Grand Bahama.
I love that.
Annually.
Yes.
She talked about it here first. It's already known.
Exactly.
The tea.
Right. So let's talk in detail now, Ms. Pinder, about the expo itself. So what can persons expect when they come to the expo?
Yeah, so as she mentioned, we would have different companies. Some of the companies we would have are CIBC, who's a major sponsor. We would have the Port Authority as well. We would have Keys Realty, James Charles, H.G. Christie, Family Guardian Insurance, Kalina Insurance, Honeydew Maintenance, Flawless Construction, Royal Bank, San Jose Construction, and Alive. They would be
They would be a part
expo,
of,
yes.
of the expo. So
Right.
there's the funders and the financiers, the insurance
Construction,
companies,
yes,
the real
a little
estate
bit of
companies, the contractors. So this is like a little ecosystem that's being created here.
She's bringing it all together.
Yeah, putting everyone in the room. So what is the setup like? Are you guys going to have booths? How can I talk to these people? Like, what does that look like?
So the setup, it will be indoors and outdoors on the balcony at Pelican Bay Hotel. I don't think I mentioned the date. It will be this Saturday, June 7th, from 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. in the Delphine's room. So you can just walk right in. Well, first of all, we do want persons to register so that we can contact you and give you a reminder. And when you come to the event, you can simply just walk to the different booths who you may be interested in and get the information that you need.
Okay.
Now, I know I would have seen the flyer. You're also going to have an Airbnb session
Right.
going on during the expo. Let's talk a little bit about that, because persons are hearing about this home expo, they're hearing about Airbnb. Let's talk a little bit about that.
Right, so the Airbnb session is separate. It will be in the Coral and Reef room at Pelican Bay, and that will take place from 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. And what we will have is persons such as Felicia Barbs, we will have Corindo Davis, we will also have Donna Lang, and we will also have Ellison Delva speaking on how to start an Airbnb in Grand Bahama and how to be successful at it and the costly mistakes to avoid when running an Airbnb. So that's primarily what that session will be on.
And as persons are listening right now to the expo, is there a cost to the expo? What time does the expo start itself? And is there a difference between just attending just the expo to go and see the persons as opposed to sitting in on the Airbnb session?
Yes, so the Airbnb session is $100 and the exhibition is free. So
Yes.
Okay, so exhibition is free. Airbnb session is $100. Where can persons register for the event?
Right, so persons can register for the free expo. You can simply click on the ads on our Facebook page and you would be on the forms to sign up. And then for the session, you would simply pay on paythirddimension.com, or you can come in store and pay at the register, $100.
Made it easy.
Now, very easy. What does it feel like, Mrs. Barbs, to see the business thriving and growing and moving into these new avenues? What does that feel like as, being a part of this family-based business? Tell us about that.
It's a great honor, Freeport always is looking for that new something, and for me as a young native Grand Bahamian, I'm always looking for something that that pulls my eye and doesn't do the same thing all the time, because you would only really expect sales and stuff to really pull customers in. So with what we're trying to give to Grand Bahama, we want to give you a different experience. We want to give you that feel of coming to a hardware store, getting all you need for your home, but also getting that informational side of it. So it makes me feel great to be a part of that, to be a team of it, to provide new ideas for us to cater to Grand Bahama, as well as it's being my family's business, being that pioneer basically with the new ideas that we bring to Grand Bahama. So it's a real honor to kind of be in the business of it, as well as doing all these things on a daily basis.
I kind of feel the excitement coming from
yes,
you.
Yes, I'm very excited about it.
Yeah, that's wonderful, right? I like the whole idea of the family business.
Yeah.
The Grand Bahamian business growing and thriving and expanding. I had an opportunity as well to go to the opening that you guys had. Very, very happy to be there, very grateful to be there. But to see the entire family coming together. And when you go to the business, the entire family is working in the business. Yes, yes. And so kudos to you guys. Congratulations on what you're doing. Please continue to do that. And of course, we want to do a quick wrap because Ms. Pinder, I want to hear from you again. Of course, give us all of the details regarding the event that is happening this weekend. Place, time, location, cost, etc.
Right, so the event is taking place at the Pelican Bay Hotel this Saturday from 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. That's for the free exhibition that will be in the Delphines room. Now, for the paid session, the Airbnb session, it's $100, and it will be in the Coral and Reef room from 3 p.m. to 5 p.m.
And that's upstairs.
And
Right.
that's upstairs.
Right.
Okay.
Yes.
And I was told that people need to be able to register very quickly for that
Yes,
particular event.
yes.
Seats are limited, and of course they're running really quickly. So we want to encourage you guys. The first annual Home Expo is happening under Third Dimension, and of course you heard it. We're going to have the financiers in the room. I heard Quarendo Davis, CIBC, maybe some others, the realtors, all of the people that need to be in that ecosystem and that space to be able to support you, all of the contractors as well. And so congratulations again to you guys, and thank you so much for joining us to tell us about this event. And of course, Grand Bahama, make sure you come out and you support Third Dimension, family-owned business and growing to be a staple in the hardware and home setup space here in Grand Bahama. All things home. And so we really appreciate having them here with us. And of course, we want to remind you, make sure that you follow their social media so that you can see what is happening on that day. I'm sure that the marketing team is going to have that all out there. And of course, you don't just want to see it there, you want to be there in person for that free exhibition that's happening at the Delphines Room at Pelican Bay. I know parking is going to be so tight because everybody's going to be there, right?
Right.
So you're going to be early? Are you going to be early?
We're going to be early because
I like to be early.
We've been sharing it and make sure people know they want to be a part of this major event.
Absolutely, absolutely. We also want to encourage you guys to continue to watch the Focus Forward show. You can find us so many places, Alex.
Everywhere. Go to the GBPA website so that you can find out where we're going to be on, because we're on the radio station, we're on all the TV stations, because you want to be able to find out what's going on here in Grand Bahama, because we bring you all the information on point first and foremost.
Yes. And of course, we want to say a special thanks to all of the businesses that have been working with us all throughout this time. We're in a new season now. We continue to work with them, so we're We're very grateful for all of you. Visible Changes Invest Grand Bahama, obviously, for continuing to work with us. K Beauty, looking fabulous. I hope I didn't forget anyone. Creative Eyes Studio as well. We want to thank all of you for joining with us, and we want to thank you for inviting us into your offices, your businesses, and your homes. We are always here for you. Grand Bahama's best talk show, Focus Forward. And until next time, I'm Glendia Sweeting.
And I'm Alex Thompson.
And we're informing you on the positive things that happen when you focus forward. You've been listening to Focus Forward, sponsored by Invest Grand Bahama. Like us on Facebook at Invest Grand Bahama Small Business Bureau to stay updated.
And drop a business card at the Grand Bahama Port Authority receptionist desk to have your business featured on our show. Tune in next Thursday,
same time,
same place,
for Focus Forward.